Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Pesachim, Perek Gimel, Chapter 3, Mishna Daled, Mishnah 4. Rabbi Gamliel Omer, Rabbi Gamliel says, Shalosh Nashim Lashais Ka'achas V'oifais B'tanur Echad Zoi Achazai. 3 women can knead, each one needs their own dough at the same time, and then they bake in one stove, one after the other. So you got 3 women here making matzah. Okay. Now we know that if you make a dough and it sticks around too long, your wheat and your grains and your water came together, make them into a dough. You let them stick around too long. What's going to happen to them? It's going to become a chametz. Now you got these 3 women here, and they're all baking matzah at the same time. So how do we make sure? How do they make sure that they can each one bake their matzahs and not be concerned that something's going to become chametz in the meanwhile? So according to Gamliel says, basically, they can all knead their doughs at the same time and bake in one stove. Now, they can't all 3 put their dough into the stove at the same time. It's not big enough. But they do it, so one after the other. So according to Gamliel seems to be saying, don't worry so much. Don't worry. You have enough time. By the time, even though you're all needing to do it at the same time, and one's going to put in while one is baking theirs, the other one's going to have to wait, or there's also a process in between. You knead it, then you shape it, and then you put it in the oven. Although it's going to come out that there'll be some waiting time, because when one woman is going ahead and baking hers, the other ones are waiting, because they all do the starting at the same time. And then they have to wait for one another. So Gamliel says it's okay. We're not concerned that during that period of time, it's going to become a chametz. But the Chachamim say no. You got to do it this way. If you're having the 3 women baking together, they have to do it in the following way. Shalosh nashim oiskais babatzek. You could have 3 women busy or involved with the dough. Achas lasha, one is kneading. Va'achas oireches, the other one is shaping. Va'achas oifa, and one is baking. You need to create some kind of a system in which no one's sitting around waiting there with the dough. Everybody, all right, there's a production line. Everything is working in a way that it works in a systematic way, but that no one's sitting around and waiting. So basically what's going to happen is like this. This is the way they lay it out here. While one woman kneads her dough, another one shapes her dough into loaves, another one bakes her dough. That is, only one woman kneads it first. Okay, one woman starts. She alone is kneading. Once she has finished kneading and has started shaping her dough into loaves, the next woman starts kneading. Once the first woman has finished shaping her dough and has started putting her loaves in the oven, the second one starts shaping, and the third one starts kneading, and so on. In this way, each batch of dough is worked on constantly until it is put in the oven. There is a rule by Pesach, by chametz, that if you keep the dough active, it's not going to become chametz. So as long as they're busy with it, it's not going to be a problem. In a matzah factory, where at the end of the day, there will be sometimes dough that's kind of not ready to be rolled or whatever or be rolled or made holes or put into the oven, there's somebody going to stand there and they constantly be squeezing it. Because as long as you keep it moving, as long as you keep doing something, as long as you keep it going, it won't become chametz. Mm-hmm. So Rabbi Gamliel was of the opinion, you don't got to make such a big fuss, basically. The amount of time it's all going to happen, it's going to be taken care of. Now, it's important to point out what they point out here on the bottom of that is, Rabbi Gamliel and the sages agree that it takes 18 minutes for unattended dough to become chametz. Everybody agrees to that. Mm-hmm. Their dispute concerns the case where 3 women start kneading different doughs at the same time and then bake them one after the other. The sages are concerned that a dough might be left for 18 minutes as it waits its turn to the oven, while Rabbi Gamliel considers it unlikely that a dough will be left for so long. So that's how it kind of breaks down. Yeah. Gamliel is saying, you got 18 minutes. The women work fast enough, typically, that you're not going to have a problem. The Chachamim say, don't take your chances. Mm-hmm. Now, Rabbi Akiva says, Now, Rabbi Akiva is not coming with a third opinion here. Rabbi Akiva is really supporting the Chachamim with the following argument. Loi kol ha'anoshim, loi kol ha'eitzim, loi kol ha'mishabin. Not all women and all wood and all stoves are the same. Some women work faster, some women work slower. Sometimes when you try to get wood going, it takes quicker. Sometimes it takes longer. Not all stoves work the same. And therefore, Rabbi Akiva's whole point is that since there are many unpredictable factors in the baking process, we cannot tell how long the baking will take. Therefore, it is wrong to leave one dough unattended while another dough is being baked, because the baking might take so long that the unattended dough will turn into chametz. Rather, each dough must be worked on all the time, as the sages require. So he's not coming to give you a different opinion here, Rabbi Akiva, but he's making an argument. There's too many unpredictable factors here to deal with that you should be able to say, don't worry, everything will be okay. And therefore, you have to follow, therefore, Rabbi Akiva follow the Chachamim. You always got to keep, someone always has to be working with the dough. Now the Mishnah concludes, Za'akal, this is the rule, Tafach. The woman's holding a piece of dough, and she noticed it's starting to swell, which means chametz is starting. What should she do? Tiltaish batzainan. She should put her hands in cold water, smear the water over the dough, and that will slow down the process. Cold water slows down the process of chametz. So therefore, what she should do is tiltaish means she wets her hands in water. Then again, smears the water over the dough and with the cold water, and that will slow down the process of chametz. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
How